Hello family, today we're making puff puff. I'm just going to measure 2 cups of all-purpose flour already sealed. So if you're going to use it, please save it so that you don't have lumps in it. And the cup I'm using is the normal cup. I'm sure if you love food, you have most of these measuring cups in your kitchen, but if you don't, you can get them in the market. And then I'm going to add half cup. It's not the same cup, half cup of sugar. It's measuring cups, okay? And then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of yeast. This was my first time of using this type of yeast. I didn't know how active it is, so I decided to use 2 tablespoons of yeast. Apparently it's very active. At the end of the day, I discovered it was very active. Then I added a little pinch of nutmeg. So with all those dry ingredients, I just mixed all of them together. Just stir all of them together. Nothing special. You're not going to do any hard work in it. Just mix all the dry ingredients together. Once you're done, you're going to be adding lukewarm water. It's not hot, it's not cold. You can boil your water, take a little from it, and then add maybe like cold water to it. Put in your small finger, and if you're a bit comfortable in it, like you're not, it's not hurting you, you know that would be good enough for you to use. Please don't use boiling water, no, lukewarm water. That's what you're going to use. Now, one thing I promise on this page is any mistake I make, I'm going to let you know, so that if you make the same mistake, you know what to do. If you notice my dough, you discover that I don't know what I was thinking of. I was just adding water. So the water I actually added to this was much. I noticed that wasn't a problem. Anything any kind of mistake or whatever it is that happens in the kitchen, there is always a solution to it. So don't panic when you make any mistake in the kitchen, okay? So the water was too much. I noticed that, but there was no need for panic. So I just stirred everything, remove all the lumps. As you can see, it's quite soft. And frying this might be a bit difficult, but that wasn't a problem. So once I was able to mix everything together, there were no lumps. I covered it with a foil paper. Yes, you cover the bowl with the foil paper, ensure that there is no space, there's nowhere air will enter, so that the heat inside, so that the yeast can really work well, activate it well and make it rise. That's the work of the yeast, right? Alright, so you can use your kitchen towel to cover it up to make it even warm, so that it can work very well. Now we're going to cover this up, and then we're going to take it into a warm place. You can use your oven, but I decided to use one of the chefs in the kitchen. So I'm just going to put everything, like the bowl and everything. Please don't use the kitchen hanky for any other thing. If you're cooking like this, please, what you're using to cook is very special. So you leave it there. And then I diced onions and little pepper. Although I was making it for my nieces and nephews, I was going to eat some too. I don't know how to eat puff puff without pepper, so yes, I have to do that. And then here, it was ready. I left it for about 45 minutes, and then I brought it out after 45 minutes. If your yeast is not so active, you can leave it a little bit longer, but this was very active. And let's open. See that? As little as it was, you see how full the bowl is. See how active the yeast is. So it's going to rise. You need to be careful. You need to use a bigger bowl when you're doing it, so that it doesn't waste. So use a bigger bowl, so that when the yeast start acting and it's rising, it will not waste. And I'm also going to put in my pepper and my onions. I know some people just eat their puff like that, but this is how I like to eat it. So I added my onions and my pepper and mixed it together. Now in your pan, you're going to add vegetable oil. Add vegetable oil enough enough that can fry it. And then I'm using my hand to scoop. I don't have the scooping spoon, but well, I got it right. It's a little bit sticky. Anyway, I added flour to it at the end of the day. Remember I told you the water was too much, so I sprinkled flour to ensure that it was a bit strong before I started frying. So if you have that kind of challenge to just sprinkle flour, it's not a problem. Sprinkle flour and ensure that it's a bit thick before you start frying. Don't make it solid thick. As you're sprinkling the flour, keep turning it until you see the consistency that you want, that you think is strong enough for you to fry, and then you can fry it. So if you made that kind of mistake, pouring too much water while you were mixing it, don't panic. Kitchen is a beautiful place. There are things to just solve whatever problem that you have in the kitchen. All right, so here it is. Ensure that you keep turning until it is golden brown. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Don't give yourself a long assignment away from the kitchen. Meanwhile, while I was in the kitchen, my niece was really excited. They like all this finger food. And she was teaching me with new songs and wanting me to sing for her, and she was singing. So we had a little auntie niece time, talking and gisting. So
sang that before.
Imagine auntie cooking and auntie singing, auntie gisting for her. Well, it's part of it. Alright, so here you are, the golden color, and it's ready. It's actually ready. Don't allow it burn, okay? This is the desired color I think that you should have, and then you can remove it from your oil so that it doesn't burn. Here is our puff puff. This puff puff was yummy, like yummy. And please don't mind my voice. Each time I go for programs, like if I have consistent programs like that, it affects my voice. But hey, this puff puff was something else. It was really, really yummy. We finished it on time. In fact, my nieces and nephews were too excited about it. They always love finger food. Why don't you try this for yourself and for your family? Or as a gift, you could just do it for a kiss that you love. Package it and give it to them. See you. Bye.